Welcome everybody to episode 14 of Rise of the Sovereign. I know, we're already at 14 episodes. That's amazing. So welcome everybody in as we get started tonight. Before we jump in, we're going to do a quick introduction for everybody. Then we're going to do a super quick recap of last week, and then we'll see this horrible state of affairs that our characters are in to start off this week. But before we do, let's do a couple of introductions. So right above me, we have...
Hi, everyone. I'm Ellie, or Elbel, if you want to find me on Twitch. I stream full-time. I've been playing some ESO and some Baldur's Gate. I cannot get enough D&D. I have not been able to stop thinking about where we left off last week. I'm very, very nervous about today. Very nervous.
Awesome.
I play a Arcane Trickster rogue who's also a changeling with a wonderful pseudo-dragon named Soot.
Right. Perfect. And then below me in the hoodie...
I am Laz. I play Lorex, the Dwarf, who's also kind of a Genie, who's also kind of a Warlock. Sometimes I participate in combat.
Not last week.
Not
last week. Before we skip on, what's the drink of choice tonight?
This is water.
Oh, that's not nearly as exciting. That's not nearly as exciting. Okay. Also vodka. And then below us in the Atlanta Braves hat, we have...
Hey, I'm Danny. I play Vimak, the Goliath, who's doing his best Statue of Liberty impression right about now. He will not be participating in combat probably much tonight. Yeah. All right.
That's right. And then down below, we have the mastermind of the group.
Hello, I'm Wes. I will be playing Cordan, the Circle of Stars Druid. I'm also a avid World of Warcraft player, and my guild finally downed heroic Sire Denathrius, and I never want to do that fight again because I hate it.
Congrats! I did it. We're done. I did it, and we're done. Perfect. All right. So let's talk recap. So the quick way to say the recap for last week is you were at your stronghold. We'll get to the nuts and bolts. So basically what happened is an ally of Cordan came in and had some information on where the collective may be hiding in the city. So your group, the Sovereign, who's been, in this kind of almost like a cold war between you and the collective, this group of mind flayers and illithid that are residing in Waterdeep. But finally you found a way that you could actually take a strike at them. And so you went to investigate this old warehouse, which you had actually been to previously. But what you didn't realize that there was something under the warehouse. So you traveled there, and you took with you a strike team, if you will. There was the four of you, but also you took two of the Wildheart clan. You took Mari, Wildheart, and you also took Thornton Wildheart. So the six of you, or the SEAL Team 6 that you kind of put together for this, went in to discover what was going on under the warehouse. And what you found was an abandoned warehouse. There was no sign of anything. But behind the bar, there seemed to be something magical happening behind the bar. Well, it was inside there that Lorex jumped through what would look like some type of an illusion and landed in the scene that we have up on the map here, which looked like an abandoned sewer or something, like some out of work, old cistern or something. But he dropped down. The rest of you all kind of dropped down as well, along with Vimak's recently hatched egg, which is that we found out was a topaz wormling, which is this strange dragon that doesn't even exist in Faerun. He's neither metallic or chromatic, but actually a gemstone dragon from a different realm. So all of you drop down, which is the scene that we've got here. And as soon as you drop down, a couple of things happened. As y'all were kind of going through the darkness, I remember seeing a Cordan put down his spike growth on the ground off to the left, and all of these little explosions started happening. These little popping sounds started happening as all these small little larvae started just popping and dying and exploding to the spike growth that came across the ground. And you saw what looked like some type of aberration larva or a parasite or something that was, maybe a trap, or they were just all kind of congregated on that path. From there, Lorex, using his prestidigitation, now they kind of felt like they set up like a good choke point, put a magical sound down into the rest of this structure. And all of a sudden, all of these people started rushing in to run into combat, and we saw two what looked like paladins of Helm, followed closely by two of these mind flayers with these giant tentacles and everything coming out, and this massive combat ensued right here in the entrance of this. It was very bad for a while because the mind blast of the mind flayers were shooting down these corridors, which created these choke points, which the party felt like this was a really good thing for us to have this choke point that we can control, but it was actually better for the mind flayers whenever they could just shoot their mind blast all the way down the hall and hit everybody. So there was a lot of people getting hit with these things. Vimak almost died to an intellect devourer that had popped out of the head of one of these paladins when they died.
He hasn't survived yet.
Well, the intellect devourer made his intelligence go from what it is naturally to 0, completely incapacitating him. But before
0 to 0.
Before the intellect devourer could jump into its head, I forget who ran over and killed it. It might have been, was it Cordan? I think Cordan came over and blasted him with a guiding bolt, exploding the intellect devourer, saving Vimak's life, who is oblivious to everything as he's just standing there in a daze, trapped in his mind of having 0 intelligence. And Vimak before that had killed one of the mind flayers, was going to kill the other one. So they ended up downing the mind flayers. They killed the 2 paladins. Both the paladins, as they died, these intellect devourers exploded out of their heads, and they had to fight those as well. And so now they were like, okay, we're in a bad situation. We've got the paladins, did their damage. The mind flayers did their damage. I know that Lorex was stunned. It was hurt. Mari almost died. The halfling that they brought with us, it's the werebear, and they decided, okay, at this point, we've got to get these people out of here. So with that, they tried to leave and saw that the exit that they had come down, this what they thought was this illusion, was closed, and now it was just solid stone. So now they're trying to figure out how to get out of here and what's the best course of action moving forward. And that is the quickest way to recap what happened last week. They are in a bad situation. They're hurt. They've used up a lot of their resources, and they're trapped in what looks to be some type of abandoned sewer. And that's where we're going to pick up the story. Now, Danny, who is playing Vimak tonight, he is basically here until they find a resolution for the Goliath, who has 0 intelligence. So he'll be camera off until he's listening, but he's camera off until they find a solution to the problem. So that'll kind of how we'll notate that he's not AFK. He's just not with it right now. So
I'll hang up and listen.
All right, You're good. All right. So
who all is with us down here?
So the scene that I have on the map is correct. Okay, so we have Vimak, we have his little wormling sitting next to him, yourself. You've got Cordan, you've got Anne, you've got Soot, the pseudo dragon is with Anne, and you have 2 of the wild hearts with you. Thornton, who is completely healed, who was kind of holding back and kind of protecting the wormling early on, and then Mari, who's really beat up and cut and gouges and everything coming out of her, the halfling. So 2 of you are injured. The rest of you seem to be okay, outside of just being tired from this last combat. So with that, what are we doing tonight?
Can I send Soot just to kind of do like a once around to check to make sure there's no anything more coming just down? Because you can see there's a couple little hallways here.
Yes, you can.
While whatever we're doing, we're figuring out.
Sure.
Just look around.
Mm-hmm. You have control of the tokens if you want to go ahead and do that.
Cool.
All
I
right,
don't think he has sight though.
He doesn't have. He does not have sight. Let me. And he has dark vision, does he not?
He's also has blind sight.
Oh, so we'll just give him. We'll give him 60 feet of night
Dark vision 60 feet,
Yeah.
and then blind sight of 10.
Okay. He should
Thank
now.
you.
So let's move him back down. and to the first hallway, and then give me a stealth check as he moves in there.
+4 for stealth.
All right. So that's an
So
18 for stealth for Soot, the pseudo dragon. So you've gone into your form with your eyes rolled back, and Soot is going down the hall. All right. So go ahead and tell me what you're doing. So move him down the hall.
I just kind of wanted to have him peek down.
Okay. So you peek around the corner. You see several dead bodies. You see 5 dead bodies that are just kind of sprawled out on the floor. But it looks like it goes into a fork around the corner, and you do see there's basically 2 paths that kind of cut to the left and to the right. They stop, so it's just like this little nook that has 2 ways that you can go. There's 3 bodies on one side and 2 bodies on the other.
Okay, but nothing
is moving.
Nothing's moving. Really, I think Soot's just kind of going through each hallway to make sure that there's nothing immediate while we figure out how to help.
Okay. As Soot goes down that hallway, what is Lorex doing?
Lorex is first. He's going to check Vimak and kind of snapping his fingers in front of his face and waving. Vimak.
Complete blank stare.
All right, we need to do something. I'm going to check where the opening used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's sealed off now, but I'm going to use my stone cutting and try and figure out. I don't know, how thick is this? What might it take for us to get back through if we were going to try and go the way we came?
Okay. Give me your knowledge roll for your stone cutting. Is that a history check for you?
History, I believe, yes.
Right, so I'll give you your proficiency with that.
All right. 21.
Interestingly enough, the stone that you're feeling around is not a stone you are familiar with.
Like on this side or like anywhere?
All around you.
Around.
Yes. It does
Boy.
It does not feel like a stone that you are familiar with. And now, as a dwarf, that bothers you.
Does it feel like we're in a completely different place than under the warehouse?
It just feels like some type of black stone. And you don't know what it is. You don't feel like you went that far. Like you only dropped a few feet.
Any significance of how thick it might be above?
With that roll, I will tell you, it's a couple of feet.
A couple of feet of stone. It's going to be hard to get through. All right. We'll see what Anne finds down the hallways.
Now,
which path we might take.
As you're doing that, Cordan, you with us?
He is not.
He is not. Okay.
I order the mustache man to load up Vimak on his shoulders and.
Okay. All right. So Thornton turns into this giant werebear, picks up Vimak, throws him over his shoulder, and he's like, what's so funny is he turns into this giant werebear. You've never noticed this, but in werebear form, he has a giant mustache.
Yes. This is amazing.
Life imitates art.
Trevor's been prepping for weeks. Been prepping for quite some time.
Okay. All right. So with that, he picks up Vimak. He throws him over his shoulder. And with that, what would you like to do?
I'm going to check with Anne, see what she's found so far.
Okay. Anne, you hear Lorex talking to you. Do you snap out of it? You've basically just searched this first area.
Is she, are you still eyes glazed over?
Yeah, they basically become it's like the whites of my eyes. Like they just completely cloud over. Like you'd be able to physically tell that she's not there.
I'm next to her, standing watch, waiting to hear back what our scouting report is.
Okay.
So we just had bodies down this one here. Trevor?
Yes. So you've got 5 bodies that you can see from there.
But it doesn't look like way outs. All I see is like dark end tunnels.
No, dark end tunnels.
No people.
It's strange. It forks and ends. It's almost like 2 little nooks or hallways. Okay. No doors.
One thing we may want to make sure is that Soot has the scent of those larvae and can pick them out in case we don't see them.
It's a good idea.
That's a good
Because
idea.
they were here at the beginning, we don't know what they did because we managed to kill them all.
Right.
They could be just as bad as everything else.
And if Soot has 10 feet of blind sense, that may be helpful.
Yes, he does.
Now, I think the way we're going to have to pursue this is basically scout, move. Like, we're going to have to proceed with judicious amounts of caution.
Yeah, I agree.
As you are all discussing this, and you're back in Soot's, back around the corner, y'all are kind of discussing this. Everyone looks around and realizes that the wormling is missing. So while everyone was checking everything else, the wormling is missing.
The gem dragon?
Yes, the topaz wormling is missing.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, good riddance.
I don't. Lorex, I don't agree with that.
What do you mean you don't agree? He was drying up all of our drinking water back at the compound.
Right.
It served us a whole lot of good against those mind flares as well.
The dragon.
Just a distraction for...
You hear the wormling flapping his wings coming back, and he has some dried tentacle jerky in his mouth that he wants to share with everyone.
Oh my god.
And he looks, he goes, "Fish?"
So
fish.
He says fish.
Fish?
No fish.
I don't
So-
think.
So
Yeah.
Danny has returned wearing his Charmander beanie because he will be playing the role of the Topaz Wormling tonight. The amount of prep and phone calls we did this week to get him ready to play Topaz Wormling Dragon. Oh Lord. Okay.
So I want to kneel down to the Topaz Dragon who I've now heard talk, and I've seen him read. And I'm like, at this rate, he'll far outpace you, Lorex, in like 2 weeks.
You still believe that thing was reading?
Fish.
Well, we can
How
ask.
dare you, sir?
We also don't know your name.
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
He just keeps saying fish.
Fish?
Fish.
Fish?
All right, since Vimak never named him, we'll call him Lorex too.
He sniffs over it at Laz, Lorex, and he goes, "Wet."
Listen,
Lorex, I don't think he likes that very much.
I sniff back at him and I go, dry. Very, very dry.
I think until we can come up with a more suitable name, his name shall be Dehydrator.
Dehydrated.
Oh, I love all of this. Okay, so with that, I'm just staring at Danny wearing that Charmander beanie, which is
it's perfect.
It's amazing. All right, so with that, he's been gnawing on the remains of one of the mind flayers because he apparently likes to eat fish or squid, and the mind flayer's tentacles look like squid, so he's been eating that. Which is cute and disgusting all at the same time. With that, Cordan, what would you like to do?
I've never moved up to see what's down either of these corridors, so at this point I just want to step around. Now, which ways has Soot explored?
Soot only had the chance to go down this one over here and just saw dead bodies in 2 basic dead end nooks.
What kind of dead bodies do we have over here?
You see a mixture of looks like human and elves.
I want to ask Anne to come with me and check it out and see if we can search the
Sure.
bodies to find out anything.
I will be right with him.
They're leaving me with the... Oh,
Of course, Mari runs around. Thornton is staying back holding Vimak. What's the Topaz Dragon doing?
Oh, it's following its fish.
Okay, so it's following. Okay.
I'll go after the dragon.
Okay.
Let him out of my sight.
Thornton's going to kind of hold back with Vimak. All right. So you get down, and what you see looks like you recognize the clasp on their cloaks. These are members of the Harpers.
That's what I thought. I'm gonna go through I'm gonna take the clasps off all of them.
All of their heads are broken open, like something was in their head and broke out.
Oh. So maybe they weren't under their own control when they came down here or something. Are all their belongings gone?
Yes. There's
And the other
six
side is
bodies.
the
Sorry,
same thing?
there's 6 bodies. Yeah.
So
4 and 2.
brain's gone.
Do I recognize any of them?
No, you don't. Which is interesting because you knew a lot of the people coming in and out of the different guilds and stuff because of Falconmere and Waterdeep, but you don't recognize any of them. It makes you wonder. I mean, a lot of the woodland folk, a lot of times they're ranging, they're out and about, traveling in, so maybe you didn't know everybody, but it's odd to see so many that you don't recognize any of them.
I'm going to say a prayer to Falcon and try to lay their souls to rest, kind of thing.
Okay.
Ashes to ashes.
While you're giving them their last rites, what is Lorex doing?
Well, now that the Topaz Dragon is not wandering off, he's safely with them. I'm going to take a peek around this corner to the north.
Okay. Go ahead.
Anything going on down here?
You do see a structure in the distance. It looks like maybe some type of well or cauldron further down the hall.
Anything down this pathway to the right?
You just see it cuts back to the
Comes to a
left.
turn.
Yeah, you basically can go straight. So you've basically got a fork here. If you go to the left or straight here, it goes and opens up into what looks like a larger cavern, and you see some type of well or some type of circular stone structure. And then to the right, you just see it kind of like go and then cut to the left.
Gotcha. I'm going to hang out here and wait for my party members.
All right, what is Anne doing?
Cordan asked her to stay with her, or with him, so she wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Okay. And then Mari is seeing everything she wants to this, so she's up here with Lorex. Thornton's going to be holding back. And what's the Topaz Dragon doing?
It's going to try to sniff out some octopus, some squid, some tentacles. It really, really, really loved eating the face of that mind there.
Well, you're in luck because there was 2, and if I recall, there's another body right about here. So you move up and you start gnawing on and you really the delicacy of this is eating the tentacles off the face itself. That seems to be the sweet spot. So you just kind of go and you just clamp down. You release a little bit of your breath, and it soaks all of the water out of the tentacles itself and dries them super fast. And you get like some type of almost like a tentacle jerky, and then you just gnaw it down. It all happens so quick. Like you can basically bite and cook the food and eat it just like that.
Nice.
Yummy.
All right. So as he's doing that, Cordan, we're back to you. What are you doing?
All right, after I feel like I have committed their souls to the earth, I'm going to somberly walk out and tell Anne thank you and try to find everybody else.
Okay. So we'll bring you back up here. I got you. All right.
Cordan, before we make our way down this hallway, do we want to try and take a short rest back near the entrance or where we came in? Be more defensible?
Certainly, I think all of you should. I'm not going to venture too far, but Anne and I need to get the lay of the land, and be the advanced. All of you who are hurt, take a breather.
All right. So if you see something, you yell loud, I suppose.
Okay.
We will.
Yes.
So Mari and Lorex are gonna go down they're the ones that are still hurt from the last, and then Cordan and Anne are moving forward. I guess Soot's right there with you, and kind of scout a little bit, or at least stay ahead. So you need a good 15-20 minutes now. And I know in rules as written, a short rest is an hour. I've always homebrewed that it's 15 minutes, just enough time to put on some bandages, rest, concentrate, whatever you need to do, meditate. And with that, so while y'all are resting, what's Cordan going to be doing?
So I want to work with Anne to where anytime we're getting to a corner or something, that we soot peek the corner.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
then
good to me.
proceed.
What's this dice for? Oh, that's for your healing. All right, so we're going to take a quick pause. What we're going to do is, not pause, but let's go ahead and do the healing for the short rest. So, Lorex, you've healed for 4.
Don't forget about your
I guess.
amulet.
I tried to roll all 6.
Don't forget about your amulet.
The amulet I can only use once per dawn, so I'm going to hold off on that.
Mm.
Okay.
Sorry, that was 1. Let me do the other 5d8.
So, you're going to take a quick short rest before we venture forward.
Booyah. 230. That'll get me to full.
Perfect. All right. So, using 5 of your hit dice, you did all 6. You went ahead and healed all the way back up. Now, for you, taking this short rest, you sit there, you kind of meditate. The power of the lantern that Anne has, this water kind of like sprinkles out of it and encircles your body and heals you and recovers your energy and your spells that you lost. But that's what it looks like when you take this short rest. Like you're sitting there meditating, blade in hand, and then this water that trickles out of the lantern actually empowers you, and it's basically that's where you're drawing your power, and it's actually healing you and recharging you. Mari, on the other hand, she sits down, and as she just kind of focuses there for a moment, all her wounds just immediately just cover itself. There's something to do with that lycanthropy that she has. She can just muster healing with that. So with that, y'all two are they're taking the short rest. What is Anne doing?
Anne is working with Cordan. We're going to try, I think our goal was to check at least all of the pathways around, right?
Yes.
So the ones to the right and then the ones to the left. So
Yeah, the last thing we want to do is leave something behind us open that
Yeah.
we didn't check.
So we wanted to check, so we'll be going a little bit more forward.
Okay. So you're basically going to cut around the corner. So Soot comes around the corner, and there's a divot. There's a pool in front of you, and out of that pool, Soot sees all these tiny, tiny little 1 to 2 inch things like swimming around of it, and it's the larva that you saw before, but there's a pool full of them.
Ugh.
Cool, but nothing else, just larva in there.
You larva in the pool.
But there's no enemies in the.
Larva in the pool.
Okay.
I'm going to go back here and go, Fish, could you dry something out for me?
Fish, 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 fish.
I'm going to bring him up here and point out the little shallow pool and be like,
Show me, yeah.
try to be like, breathe on that.
Oh, okay. I don't know what he does.
All right, so
there it
Cordan grabs the topaz dragon wormling. We'll call him Topes for short. He goes and grabs Topes, pulls him up, and you see all of this water, but you also see all these tiny little minnows swimming around in it. What would you like to do?
Do they smell like fish?
They do.
Man, he's
All right, so as you get closer to the water, you don't like the water, so you got to breathe on it. You got to get rid of the water.
right. Yeah, so he's gonna put his dehydration breath out.
All right,
See
so
what happens.
you're gonna roll your dehydration breath. It's basically, we don't have to roll the damage, but you basically release your breath weapon. It just shoots. Actually, no, we do. Roll your dehydration breath to see if you kill all of the. You will, but just roll some dice.
D20 plus 2, right?
No. So for this, it's not an attack. You just roll the 4d6 damage as you're releasing your breath weapon. It immediately dehydrates all of the water, and all of the little larvae that are inside of it are just basically all of the liquid's going to get sucked out of the larva. Okay, so it's 10 points of damage as you just go. It just all of them just like shrivel up. Where before, where the spike growth that we saw last week, where that Cordan used, popped all of them. All of these shrivel up into these tiny. They went from this big to like this big because it was so much water. But they all shrivel back like into these like almost like little like raisins. That you now can just go and lick all of them up.
Eesh.
Little sardines, little tiny sardines. All right, so with that, Topes goes up and has third breakfast.
Does everything look sufficiently dead?
Yes, and it's currently being eaten.
And let's go. I am going to stop right here.
Okay.
I'm going to stick my hand up, like, look back at Anne and go, shh.
Okay. So as you move forward, you see this what looks like this giant cauldron. You see these purple tentacles kind of like moving in and out of the water as there's this green gloop. There's this liquid that's inside of it. These tentacles are kind of pulling up and kind of, it's weird. They're moving almost rhythmically, in this strange pattern as you see. You can't tell if there's 3, maybe 4, different tentacles coming in and out of the water and moving in this strange fashion. And what are you doing?
Again, I'm still following Cordan, so I would be moving up after the pool's kind of cleared out.
Okay. At this point, it took a few minutes. It took a good 15 solar minutes for the wormling to come up, dry out the water, eat everything, clear the path. At this point, Lorex and Mari and the rest of you can come forward. Are you wanting Thornton to kind of stay with the group but hang back and carry Vimak? Is that what we're doing?
Thornton, what happened to the dwarf was with us?
We haven't had a dwarf.
Yes, he was with the dragon the whole last time.
That was Thornton.
That was
Thornton.
Oh, that was Thornton? Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of Lorex. Never mind.
So, Lorex, what are you doing?
Depends if I'm short resting.
You have finished. You have completed your short rest.
All right, I'm gonna give a little bit of a stretch. All right, Mari, are you coming with me? Let's go. I'll head up. Head up there with them.
Okay.
As I see people coming up, I'm like, shh.
Can I?
Move silently.
Do you want me to stealth in and take a look around and see?
Sure, but I wouldn't get anywhere close to whatever that is.
Okay. As Anne, I will stealth in.
Okay. All right. Give me a stealth check.
Okay. I'm just going to move her about here.
Okay.
And shift.
Ooh. Look at there. 23 is your stealth. You quiet as a mouse. You sneak in. Your cloak of elven kind all the way pulled around you. You easily duck around the corner. It's dark in here, but you have your goggles that allow you to see in the darkness. So you, at this point, between your goggles and your cloak, you're full ninja style at this point as you kind of, deftly creep into the room. You see these tentacles moving about. They don't seem to change their rhythmic movement at all from you being in the room. Whatever it is doesn't seem to know or care that you're there. It's hard to tell.
Okay. She'd step back and pass and be like, there's nothing. We can probably sneak around whatever this is to get out if we want to go this way.
I want to move a little bit up now that she's...
Okay.
And I want to... Knowledge Arcana?
Yes.
17.
Okay, I didn't see the roll come across. Oh, there it is. All right. A little bit of lag. Thank you, Roll20. All right, so for 17 on the Arcana, you notice that something is happening. You do sense there's some type of arcane energy about it, but you're unsure what school of magic it is. It seems foreign, but there's something going on. There's some type of spell effect around that.
I'm going to consult with my friends and say, do we interrupt this or do we leave it be and leave it going behind us? It could be providing a boon, or it could
Do we have a way to? Do we have a way to mess with it beyond just hitting it with an Eldritch Blast?
Is it like a big cauldron that can be tipped over?
It looks like it's actually constructed into the floor itself.
Do we have one of those things that stopped the spiders while we were in the Underdark?
Beat of force, but we also have this bounty quicker picker upper over here that can dry anything out.
We do.
This stream,
Toast, fish.
this stream is not.
Fish? Fish.
Point at the cauldron.
This
Fish.
stream has not provided a bounty.
This is not sponsored by Bounty.
Yeah,
Picker
not
Upper.
sponsored by.
So what's the plan? You've got this cauldron of goop and these tentacles kind of moving back and forth. What is the plan?
Do they look tangible or do they look like ethereal?
Tangible.
I can always thorn whip one of them and try to pull it.
I'm afraid something might come out with it.
Well, that's the thing. If there's something in it, do we want it behind us?
No.
All right. I'm not going to ask the dragon for a vote. So what's our votes?
All right, I'll do something. I'm gonna hit it with an Eldritch Blast.
When in doubt, I just come out shooting.
And I'm going to say,
Shoot,
nice
shoot.
vote, Lorex.
Okay.
It's what you were leaning towards.
Give me an attack roll.
I'm gonna laugh if I just whiff. Where's my character sheet? There we go.
See if you can hit a giant bowl in the floor.
Stationary, man.
The way I was rolling last week, you never know.
Can I turn to Fish and ask, do you understand us?
A 22.
Fish.
Okay, nope.
Kind of turns his head a little
Groot.
bit. All right. With that, Lorex votes by acting. He takes it. He pulls out the sword because now he's at full health, and he lets loose his.
That's right.
he lets loose his Eldritch Blast. It hits. You hit one of the center tentacles. It's very easy to see this motion of these tentacles. You hit one. It cuts like part of it off, like a chunk of it off. As it shifts down, the entire building shakes as you do that. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
Good.
I'm glad that's a
Did it.
+6. Oh, I'm really glad that's a +6.
Everyone has passed it. We need one for the dragon. Topes. Topes, you fall to the ground. You lose your footing. You fall to the ground.
Oh.
Is he flying?
No.
Or is he walking around? He's walking
around, yeah. All right, so
can he?
he has wings. He's also 2 days old. So with that, you fall to the ground. Everyone else kind of grabs the side of, the walls or each other as the entire building shakes, and continues to shake. And you hear this dull roar echoing from the cavern in front of you, coming from this direction.
That's not
Well,
good.
Cordan, should we see if it does it that every time?
No.
But
I think that was a mistake.
I don't know. It hurt it.
Did it hurt it or just anger it?
Wait, do you hear that?
You do hear a roaring and a knocking, and things are starting to happen.
We should probably get out of here quickly.
Everybody roll initiative.
Where?
Everybody roll initiative.
Oh God. Sounds awful.
I should probably go into the room where I can see the... Where is the thing that I shot? Ah, there it is. Let me get to a spot where I can hit it. There we go. Boy, that's some loud roaring.
You get an Eldritch Blast. You get an Eldritch Blast.
That's right.
All right, so let's add some turns here.
Ah, multiple Lorexes.
And multiple Cordans.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to add some turns real quick. Okay. Anne, what are you going at?
21.
Woo! I'm so proud of you. Look
I
at
did
that.
great. Don't know what I'm attacking, but
I got everybody twice on here. All right, so Lorex, Cordan, Anne, Mari, and Topes. All right.
I'll be going first, and by first I mean last.
Right. Okay.
Or not at all.
This roaring is still happening. Anne, what do you want to do?
are we attacking the cauldron or are we moving up to figure out what that is?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I'm asking that to the party. I should have said that out loud.
Well, they're obviously
hurry.
coming this way.
I'm going to move myself here, like up against the wall. I can't be like, I want to be right on that edge of the wall.
Okay, I gotcha.
And I'm going to ready an attack for anything that comes around the corner.
All right, so you're gonna move, hold your action for anything that comes around the corner. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Topes, what's the topaz wormling doing?
Recover and kind of fly this time. Just float,
Okay.
and he'll do the same.
Okay.
He's-
So you want to get up to here?
How
and
far
hold.
away is?
You can get to there and
Yeah.
hold your action. Does that sound good?
Okay. And the all the noise came from over here. You said.
Yes.
Okay. Mm.
Okay.
Nah. Yeah, it has my breath recharged.
Yes, it has. All right.
Mm.
So
Does it smell like?
Huh? Say again.
I'm wondering if the wormling would want to breathe on the tentacles here. Mm. He'll wait. He's kind of confused. He just got knocked to the floor, so he's waiting.
All right. And with that, you hear that roar getting closer, and the entire building kind of slightly shaking as you hear footsteps moving towards you. And in the distance, let me see. Cordan, you're gonna see it first from where you are from your vantage point.
Okay. How high up are the ceilings where we are right now?
20 feet.
All the whole way through?
Hmm.
What the heck is that?
I will show you what the heck that is. As this giant, this monster, has like this purplish, like almost like a lavender skin. As it comes marching in, its wings unfurl. These like large bat wings unfurl. He has these giant claws. He has a long snout with these horns sticking out the back. It looks completely strange as it has these giant legs. It's like these giant talons as it's marching in the room. You see like this purple and red flame like starting to coalesce inside of its mouth as it's moving into the room.
Oh, excellent.
And that's what it looks like.
Lovely. Can I say it looks like a Pokemon?
You could.
Oh my! It looks like Ridley.
Yeah,
It's,
it
um,
looks,
You know why?
Looks
Because it is.
shockingly like Ridley.
It's amazing. Yeah. So this
Watch
thing
out
comes
for its down special.
right. As it comes into the room, it steps to here. It's still its turn, but that will trigger Anne's action.
Correct. I would like to Booming Blade attack it with the rapier.
You will Booming Blade attack it with the rapier.
How big
Okay.
is this thing?
It's about 12, 15 feet tall, around in there. It's kind of hunched over.
Oh boy.
All right, and you will attack your Booming Blade. You with an 11.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't hit. You go to attack it, the mere size of this thing, whatever you were expecting to turn this corner, this was not it. You pull your rapier out, you take almost like a defensive swing as this thing is much larger. You couldn't have fathomed that this is what was coming around the corner, so you miss with your attack. With that, as it turns the corner, the Topaz Dragon, Topes, this triggers your action as well as you were waiting for something to come around the corner. What would you like to do?
He's gonna turn and bark at the others like, wet, and then he's gonna shoot out the cone.
Okay.
Now, can I hit this and that? Will that work?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right, so you're kind of like hovering with your little wings. You like let loose the biggest, baddest breath weapon you possibly can muster. And I have to make a Constitution saving throw. I failed it. Holy cow.
Yes, get wrecked.
I failed it. All right, so roll your damage.
I'm gonna brace myself.
15 damage. Okay. You let loose this breath weapon. The tentacles in the little pool, they get hit with it first. You see the tentacles like stick up straight as the breath of the ripples of the energy of the dehydration breath rip through. They all like squeeze in and all of the liquid sucks out of them and they snap and all four of them just kind of like collapse off and fall onto the ground. The rest of your breath hits this giant monster head on. It tried to block it with one of its wings like instinctively, but it hit the wing dead on, and you can see water and liquid like pulling out of its wing. It lets loose this roar, which also fire comes out of his mouth as it hits his wing, and he kind of shakes, looking around, and he's immediately looking around at whatever it was that hit him for that. Also, roll a d6 because that will reduce his strength.
Nice.
So it's 1 + 1 is 2, so his strength has been reduced by 2.
Nice.
And for my move action.
That was your move action because this is you were holding your action.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right.
All right. So we're gonna move this out of the way. All right. And with that, it is his turn. He lets loose this giant aura of flame that goes all the way around him. Let me grab the marker for that.
No.
Is this an
I don't
attack
like
roll?
that.
No, this is just what he's doing. He just throws this up. And then he's going to step forward. Gotta move him separately here. There we go. He's going to move forward. The fire rolls over Anne, and you immediately make a... Nope, just kidding. You just take damage. You just hard take damage.
Lovely.
Take 9 points of flame damage, and then he's going to attack you with his claw.
Okay.
21 to hit.
That hits.
18 damage.
And I will uncanny dodge that one. So that's also 9 damage.
All right, so 99 is 18 total. So you uncanny dodge that his claw comes through the flame. He carries that flame with him as the claw hits you. It burns across you. You jump out of the way. Fortunately, you have some type of magical protection from the armor that Miles gave you. It's just enough to save you from what would have been just a horrific gash across the chest as you kind of fall backwards, trying to evade it. With that, it is now, who's next? All right, so now it is Cordan's turn, right?
Okay, so is there still any liquid left in the bowl? Or is it just...
You can't really tell from where you're at.
All right, there's no liquid left behind me, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's step up about right here. Now, does it look like the fire is emanating from him, or is it like a barrier that has to be passed through?
It's hard to tell. All you can see right now, you just see flames circling around him.
Wonder if it's some type of concentration. I don't want to get in there into melee with it. I'm gonna cast a first level guiding bolt at it.
Yes, you are. Roll your guiding bolt. Are you going to use your bonus action for anything?
Not yet.
All right, guiding bolt. When in doubt, shoot lasers. Ooh, 23 spell attack. You hit it with a guiding bolt. That is enough to pierce its armor. Roll your damage.
$13.
Okay. And is there another secondary effect with that, with guiding bolt, where like the next person that hits it gets advantage on the attack?
Yeah, the next attack roll made against this target before the end of your next turn has advantage.
Okay, so you let loose this shot, it hits him. Again, he goes up and tries to block with a wing. It actually carves a small, like, pin hole through his wing and hits him itself. He lets loose this anger, this rage as he's looking at you. He sees you. He's going to use a legendary action to pull out his tail and shoot his tail at you.
Is that an attack he has to make?
Yes, it is.
It's his down special.
Because he's what?
Because he's woed.
He is woed.
It's -5.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
So my attack would have been a 15. Instead, it is a 10. So he goes to hit you. You dodge out of the way as this tail actually hits the rock behind you and deflects off of it. When it hit the rock behind you, that rock is extremely hard. Like, as the weight and the pressure of that, it hit that stone and did not crack the stone.
So it just hit it and kind of bounced off of it.
Right. With that, it is Mari's turn. It's the Wild Heart turn. So Mari's full rage turned into a bear. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And she runs in. She's going to dash and get as close as she can. And she slows up and stops and looks like she's 3.5 feet tall. This thing is 12 to 15. She's like, and she looks up at this flaming and everything. Still angry, but she's used her entire turn to get up there. Thornton, not knowing what to do, runs up to here, puts Vimak down against the wall, and then runs up to here. So he runs up, puts him down, turns in. Oh, he was already a bear. He puts Vimak down, and he runs around the corner to kind of see what's going on as well. And with that, we get to Lorex's turn.
I wanted to bonus action shift into Archer, but
okay, we'll have to come back to it. Just save it for next turn.
Ooh,
Lorex.
look at that! Look at that handsome fellow over there. I'm gonna move up here.
Okay.
And I'm a toss. I'm a toss my beat of force right. Actually, I'm gonna bonus action. I'm gonna hex him.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna toss my beat of force.
Perfect. All right. So you let loose this. You grab this ball. You throw it at him.
That is going to be a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Okay. And then what type of damage does that deal?
Force.
Ooh.
You have to roll to hit it?
Force.
This is my deck save. I failed my deck save. It is, in fact, force damage. So roll your 5d4 force damage.
I don't know why it rolled a d6.
It's also trapped inside a sphere.
That's correct. And no spell effect can emanate out from him. Hold
Small
on.
black bear measures.
5d4, right? I don't know why I didn't roll the damage. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. There's 14 plus 6 for my 6 necrotic for my hex.
18
and
damage.
then plus 3 for my Genie's Wrath.
So what's the
For
total?
cold. So 21. 21 damage.
Okay.
14 force, 4 necrotic, 3 cold.
All right, so you throw this bead of force. This entire like bubble goes around him. The flame is still going around him because it's not a spell effect. As he's just like controlling it now. He's in this bubble for now.
Let me. No attack or other effect other than breathable air can permeate the sphere.
Correct. All right, so the fire will be inside the sphere. Okay. Okay.
Using
But that
what
means-
air?
That we can't.
All right. So that will make it Anne's turn. Let me read
Sphere,
Bead of
yeah, like-
Force here.
I know,
A sphere of
I-
transparent force and encloses the area for 1 minute. Any creature that failed to save and is completely within the area is trapped inside the sphere. Creatures that succeeded on the save, and it doesn't matter. No attack or other effect can pass through. Only breathable air. So he's trapped in this thing.
Yeah, and the fire's not outside of it. It's inside of it.
It would be inside of it. Right. He's in the fire. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay, that also
Wait a
gets
minute.
Anne, and that gets Anne out of it. We'll just kind of instinctively just move you back.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Okay, so Anne, what do you want to do? It's in a bubble.
It's a bubble that we can't attack.
Correct.
No, but it looks like there's a bridge down there. Maybe you can roll it off of it.
Oh my gosh. I will attempt to roll this thing off of can I see if the bridge is like open ended on the bottom? From where
Can I
am?
read the last line of text? The sphere can be picked up, and its magic causes it to weigh only 1 pound, regardless of the weight of the creatures in the
I
sphere.
It's spring
tossing the
training.
heck
Let's
this
do
thing
this.
out about it.
Oh,
We're gonna go bowl with it.
okay.
Your mage hand can
My
pick it
mage
up.
hand can pick it up and move it far away from me too.
Correct.
Cool, great, love this. Cool. I'm going to cast Mage Hand. I'm going to pick up the sphere.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So you
Can
just
I-
you pick it up. All right. So you move it to here. Now, the map is misleading. This is a hall. It's not a bridge.
oh,
I'm sorry, but you can move it down the hall.
You got a minute.
All right. So you're basically standing back here, and you're just kind of pushing it down the hall while it's fighting inside this thing.
yeah. I want it like far enough away. I don't know if that's not a bridge to like drop it down.
You are pushing it away. It's inside of it. So quickly, what are you going to do? You use Mage Hand.
push
You've pushed it. Okay,
just
so,
push-
all right. So
get
this
it
is what
far
you
enough
do.
away
You've
that we
pushed it
can
to
get
here.
tactically into place.
Perfect. What's Taupe's doing?
He's gonna see if he recharges.
Correct. You do
No.
not. So what do you want to do?
I'm going to follow her,
Okay.
kind of see where it goes.
All right. So she's like here at this point. So you're just moving to
Oh,
here.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I would have tactically moved back around the corner at the end of my turn.
Okay.
Like,
Just
to
kidding.
protect myself.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. This is interesting. So you've moved it down the hall. The wormling goes and sees what's going on. On its turn. Let me look at something really quick. Well, there you go. He's in it. There's nothing he can do. He's just
All right.
flailing. He's flailing and screaming inside of it. This buys y'all time to figure out what you're going to do. Cordan, what are you going to do?
I'm looking. I'm running around. running around. Do I see anything else down these halls? I'm assuming anything would have joined it because I mean it made a hellish commotion coming this way.
Right. It's you don't. Okay, so you move around it. So now you're just basically you look down. You see some other things happening in this room down here. You do see a couple of like you can't like small structures in this room. You move. You look. You see like these strange apparatus, almost like a closet, like some type of glass pod on the front of it. In this room, that's all you see in there. Okay, you get to hear your keen perception. You hear some very dark guttural chanting coming from this room.
Which room?
This room over here.
Okay.
On the left.
Behind it, yeah.
What do you want to do?
And they don't seem to notice all the sound, or like they don't care.
You hear chanting.
Chanting is never good. Arcana check.
Okay. What you hear, you can't make out the language. It isn't.
It's not abyssal.
It's not. It's something
Okay.
else. And it's not rhythmic, and it doesn't have a cadence to it like a spell. They're not casting anything. It's like they're communicating.
Can I peek into the room?
You can?
I mean, obviously they heard anything that was going on, so I'll just kind of look over here.
You see what you see. That's your vision. You want to keep going down that hall?
How long has it been?
Okay, this is only supposed to be 6 seconds.
It's not been around yet.
Yeah, it hasn't even been a full round. We're going to stop you because I think we've been 6 seconds of movement and kind of peeking around. And we're going to go to Mari and the Wild Hearts. She's going to run over and push the ball and just push it this way.
Okay.
Okay.
She just runs over
I'm gonna,
and she just
I'm gonna,
she claws at it and just pushes it down the hallway, not fully understanding why her claws can't hurt it. She's just
I'm gonna turn around and look at her and be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
And with that, we go to Lorex. Thornton's going to stay back and hang with Anne. What is Lorex going to do?
I'm going to use my action to dash, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right, so you get to there. And with that, it's top of the round. It's Anne's turn.
If everybody's running up, I'm gonna be going. And probably. So we've got quite a bit of time, though, right?
10
Still?
rounds. 10 rounds.
Okay, so then.
If we can find a way to get this thing in a really bad position when this thing pops, like under
I
something.
would want to peek around, knowing that we've still got time. I'd want to peek around here to make sure there's nothing else that we're pushing it.
All right, so you have to push it further. You come in here, right on the. Well, he's going to be here, right here. There is a large contraption, almost like a wardrobe, but it has this like funky design to it. And it also has like this like glass bubble front. You see that there's a person on the inside of the bubble.
Do I recognize this person?
You don't recognize the person. You also don't recognize what type of person this is. It's very strange. Looks like a greenish gray skin, long ears. Doesn't have a nose. It looks very odd. You've never seen whatever this is.
Voldemort.
I was about to say. Okay, cool. And can I Yeah, okay. We're good. No, we're good. I'm done.
Topes.
I'm gonna move up to. Let's see how far I can move up here. I don't know how far I can move up. Is this good? 30 feet?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna see if I recharge.
You do not.
Or not recharge.
You got to roll a 5 or a 6.
All right, so I'll just keep looking in bemusement.
Okay. And on its turn, it continues to be angry and is trying to get out. It really can't do anything. Oh.
Half its speed.
Oh. Hang on. It stops. It stops fighting, and it just pulls its wings in, and all you can see is like the cocoon of its wings.
Oh, I bet it's gonna heal.
With that, it is Cordan's turn.
So I'm gonna follow them into the room.
Okay.
Do I see these pods anywhere?
Yeah, right here, just one of them.
Do I recognize the things in there?
No, you don't.
Can we end the thing before it's done?
That's a Lorex question. He threw it.
I throw a bead. It's not like I'm concentrating on it.
Is this true? I think you got to give it its time.
So
Let's figure out a place to put
I
it.
think. Who all can use scrolls? Anybody?
I know a certain wormling that can read. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. For me, gents.
I'm going to tell Anne, I'm going to say, we've got to be ready when this ends, and I'm going to hand her the scroll of lightning bolt.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I just use my spell attack modifier, right?
I don't know how it works on scrolls.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Okay.
I've got the Spirit Guardian one.
All right. And while y'all are basically trading scrolls and going back and forth, what's the Topaz Dragon doing?
He's gonna come in a little.
Actually,
more
no. I take it that was Cordan's turn. Mari's running in. She hears the voices as well. She runs in here. You hear her roar and run in, and she's slashing at something.
All right, Lorex will double move again. I'll come into this room. And I'll say, is there a place we can put it in here? Down a hole or something? Do we need to go down the other path? That's it. That's all I got. And that's 2 rounds.
Right. As all of that is happening, Topes, you look around and you see Thornton the giant bear hoofing it over there as well. Vimak is still back in the other room.
No, brother.
All right. You hear Thornton runs in this room. He lets loose a giant roar as he runs into this room as well.
With Mari?
Yes.
Jack.
All right, and Lorex. So that happened. Lorex just went top of the round. It's Anne's turn. I'm sorry, Lorex. Would you do something different?
No, I'm just the idiot werebear isn't carrying Vimak. Where the hell is Vimak?
You had one job. All right, and top of the round we go to Anne. What are you going to do? This is round 4.
Can I head? Oh boy, I would probably
this is
head
round 4?
this way to see if it's more if it's a tactical advantage. And what do I see?
You see a strange chest.
Anything in that room that looks like it's going to attack me?
No, you just see a strange chest with a strange locking mechanism that you might be able to open.
Cool. I just want. She's honestly trying to find like a tactical corner to be able to duck around to attack,
I understand.
and then duck back around.
Okay.
So that's it.
Or shove a giant ball into. Lock the
Or
door. We don't want to fight you. You stay in here. Goodbye.
All right. Topes, what are you doing?
I guess I'll follow these two into here and see what they're screaming about. He's curious.
All right, so you walk in. You see Mari is like having this fight with some robed individual that has these giant tentacles for arms, and you see like this tentacle coming out of its face, and they're fighting. You see that Thornton has leaped up onto this ledge and is fighting another one. Again, tentacles for arms. Instead of a face, it's just 3 tentacles coming out of the hood, and it's just wailing. And you see all this like strange energy coming out. You don't really understand. But what you do understand is fish.
Is that it smells like
It
fish?
smells like fish.
Urgh. All right. All right. That was move. Did I move down here and attack this guy?
Yes, you can.
All right. I'll come around and bite him.
Yes,
With the
you
bite.
will. You just and just give him a big, nasty, wormling bite. A gnaw, if you will.
This is +4.
15 total is 15 plus 4. 19 will hit.
19.
You will land a bite. Roll your damage. Your big D10 wormling damage.
+2.
So
Hey,
9.
not bad.
9. All right. So you reach up, you grab, as it's slinging its tentacles around, you just see the opportunity to reach up, you grab its left arm tentacle, bite hard, and just pull at it. Like it's like you're like a dog like trying to play tug of war as you're trying to get the food away from him. All right. So you've basically grabbed and you've bit into that. So that is your turn. With that, we go to, this Ridley was return, I guess we're calling it, is still in the ball. It's cocooned in. It's not fighting. It's kind of
Dryly,
accepted. Right? It's Dryly.
Name's Dryly.
Dryly. And now it is Cordan's turn.
I'm gonna move up with Anne,
Okay.
and there's a whoa. That is a weird looking chest.
It is.
Right?
And
Don't trust
it has a locking mechanism on it. You
It
said.
does have a locking mechanism on it.
I'm going to go up to it.
Okay.
I'm going to pour some water from my water skin into the opening,
Yes, you are.
and I'm going to cast shape water and
Yes.
freeze it solid
Yep.
inside the locking mechanism.
And that will break the lock.
Yep.
All right. So that breaks it open.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I'm gonna kick it open.
You kick it open. When you look inside, there's like a cloth in there, and you reach over and you pull the cloth back, and what you see is a very ornate looking sword hilt, but there's no blade.
Luckily, I have this identify spell that I can cast next round, or whenever.
Okay. And with that, it is Mari's turn.
I'll turn around and look at Dryly and be like, "I found your lightsaber."
All right, and with that, Mari is going to attack Squid Guy up here. She misses with her claw. She comes around with the bite and misses both. She's trying to hit it, but it's very slippery as it's peeling. It kind of moves out of the robe and kind of like it has like an amorphous feel. Like you can't really tell like if it has legs or arms. It's just like these tentacles just kind of flailing all over the place as it's trying to basically dodge the attacks. Thornton will attack his as well. He will make his claw attack and hit, and then he will make his bite attack and hit. He hits both. So we'll do 4d6 damage to that one. All right. So with that, because of the wormling that came in and got its attention, Thornton's able to like land these giant claw and bites and just this purplish ooze like squirts out of the squid as he's like grabbed onto it. And as he is fighting and like railing into it, the tentacles actually are starting to like come around Thornton as it's kind of fighting and clawing at it. And with that, we go to Lorex.
Lorex is going to run up and give this ball of force a punt and punt it down this hallway.
Okay.
Ball.
We're gonna keep playing. Okay.
We are literally playing soccer.
Little bocce ball.
All right, so you push it down there as well. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got. That's my move and my.
That's your
my
move and
punt.
your action. All right, and top of the round, it's you.
Do we hear the commotion from what's going on?
Oh
Can I
yeah,
hear-
there's
Yeah, we gotta
blood
hurry.
curdling. Yeah, you hear a lot going on.
I'll hand her the identify scroll if you want me to.
You can handle that. I'm gonna go deal with
Okay.
helping our friends. So let's make sure that I can.
Cunning action dash.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
60 feet. So
Okay.
that takes me to there.
Okay.
And then an extra actual dash action should take me about there.
Zoop. All right, so you come hauling around the corner. All right, perfect. Soot
Still don't know how
is
you
with-
measure like that.
That's a great. All right, so Anne, you move as fast as you can because of your rogue ability. You move, you cunning action dash, and then dash again to go around the corner. So you're running as fast as you can to get around the corner. As soon as you turn the corner, you see Mari fighting this giant squid thing. With there's like you can't tell where the squid begins and where the robe is still there. It's just this amorphous like blob of tentacles. And with that, we go to Topes.
All right, let me roll my d6.
No!
All right, I'm gonna try to bite him again.
With
Is-
advantage.
I was about to say, is this considered flanked? I don't know. how
You
that
are.
works.
You're flanking. 16 plus 4 is a 20. That will hit. Roll your d10 damage for the mighty topaz wormling bite damage.
All right, let's see. What was it?
D10 plus 2.
D10 plus 2.
6.
6.
Okay. All right, so you bite into it. You go back for the same arm that you grabbed before. You bite into it. It breaks off, and now there's it kind of flailing around on the ground as this little squid arm that you have bit off, and you basically got part of it in your mouth, and you're like shaking it back and forth, as you have landed the attack. All right, now with with that, I see. All right, and with that, we're gonna go to it's this Dryly's turn. It's still in there. This is round 5, I believe, that he's still in there.
No, so I've had 3 actions since I threw the bead. So
this is 4.
my next turn will make 4.
So this is the 4th round. Okay, we're in round 4. Gotcha. Okay,
Right.
Cordan, what are you gonna do?
Cast identify on the thing in there.
All right, you pull out the scroll, you cast Identify. What you find out is that it is a sunblade, and as you pick up the hilt, you're able to hit a button. It ignites as this blade comes out of it.
Found your lightsaber.
All of a sudden, he's like, "Hey, what's that flashing? We gotta go to Tashi Sink and get some power converters."
All right.
Alright,
This
so
is
I'm gonna
what it
grab
looks, and that's what it looks like.
Heckin' cool.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool.
I'm
So
proficient with a scimitar, so I'm assuming this is roughly the same.
Yeah, if you're proficient with a short sword, you're proficient with this. It's a short sword or long sword. So, are you proficient with a short sword or a long sword? I don't believe you are. I think it's specific to scimitar. I think.
Weapons.
Can a
it's scimitar.
druid use? Yeah.
Well, I've got it.
You've got it.
You would
definitely-
harness the sun.
And I'm running back. And detour, I'm going to point at him and be like, "We'll get back to you."
Okay, but you've got it in hand. All right.
And I'm running out.
Okay. And with that, Mari is attacking the squid thing. With the claw, she will hit. And with the bite, she will miss. Alright, so 2d6. Oof. That's not good. She just can't seem to get a hold of this thing. Alright, so she bites into it, but it's still kind of squidding all over the place. And with that, Thornton is going to
It's
make.
a noun. It's a verb. It's everything.
We don't know what it is. He misses with the first attack, hits with the second attack, and he bites into that one. All right, so he bites into the center of it. All of its at the same time, all of its tentacles kind of like flail out and they shrink back in, and all the tentacles disappear as the robes drop to the ground.
Awesome.
Mm.
I think.
All right, and Lorex.
So I'm gonna run up. Can I see anything down this doorway?
You see what you see.
I guess I see what I see. Is there a door, or is this just like an open hall?
It's just an open hall.
Can I fit him through there?
Yes, you can.
All right, I punt him through.
Okay.
Do you like bounce around in there?
No, that's where he goes. He sits right there.
All right, that's all I got. I guess that makes 4.
All right, top of the round, Anne, it is your turn.
Oh, okay. So I can get right in there. Yes. Boop, boop, boop. So I'm gonna come up and help Mari with a short bow attack.
Okay. Sneak attack.
And sneak attack, because it's flanked.
Oh,
23 to hit. That will
So-
hit.
And then an 8 plus 4 is 12.
All right, so take 12 points of damage from the sneak attack. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. All right, so you shoot the arrow. It goes in the back. You see the tentacles flail up. One of the tentacles like turns, and even though you don't see any eyes, it like the tentacle is like looking at you as it turns. And with that, we go. Hang on.
Hanging on. Hanging on.
Excuse me?
All right, so all 5 tentacles lash out at Mari. 3 of them are going to hit, and Mari will take 22, 4, 6, 28 points of force damage or bludgeoning as they all kind of like just start whipping on her. She gets hit really hard and kind of falls and kind of stumbling back on the ground at the fury of these tentacles kind of flailing at it. And with that, Topes.
all right. Let me see.
No.
Oh, no.
All right. I'm trying to see how far I can go.
Okay.
It's not doing that cool thing like when Ellie does it.
You gotta pick the thing that's beneath the magnifying glass. And
All right, so
above
here's
it.
30.
Ooh, that's it. Okay.
Are you trying to get over to help Mari?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can get right up to it.
Let's see some more fish, man.
There's
Onward.
so much food in this place. All right, so basically you can spend your round running, jumping, flapping, and kind of half flying as you kind of make these little leaps and flutters as you kind of land. And you land and you kind of slide across the rocky floor as you're not used to landing and flying yet, but you're there.
Gotcha.
And with that, still down here doing nothing. All right, Cordan, your turn.
All right. I'm continuing to run. I guess I'm up to here now. I guess I'll double dash and get over here.
Okay.
And I don't think I can do anything from that range.
Okay.
Except yell, who can use a sword?
Are we allowed to respond on
Yes.
his turn?
Yes.
I can.
Okay. And I want to toss it to Anne.
Okay.
Push the thingy and it does something.
Okay. I'll try.
Push the thing.
Push the
Push the
thing,
thingy.
and it'll do something. All right. Hang on 1 second. Let me pull this up for you. Okay, you have a Sunblade. It is a +2 weapon if you are proficient with a long sword or a short sword. You can use it. It does have the finesse property. It deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage. When you hit an undead with it, the target takes an extra D8 radiant damage. The sword's blade emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. While the blade persists, you can use an action to expand or reduce its radius of bright and dim light by 5 feet to a maximum of 30 feet. So it's a flashlight, and it's a +2 sword that has finesse.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. So you now have a lightsaber.
I have a lightsaber.
All right. And with that is Cordan's turn. It is Mari's turn. Mari is going to make her attacks. Counterattack. She goes to bite it. She fails. She goes to claw it, and she misses. She's just on her back feet at this point as this thing is wailing on her. It then will turn around and make its attacks on Ellie. Oh, sorry, not Ellie. On Mari again, and I see a natty. 1, 2. So it's going to be 3. Same as last time. That's going to drop Mari.
Holy smoke.
All right, so they all just start pounding, and Mari drops to the ground. As soon as she hits the ground, she reverts from bear to halfling. So she is unconscious on the ground. And with that, Topes.
A widow.
Did we? I think we skipped his name.
What about Lorex?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lorex.
Lorex, I apologize.
Lorex down here. That's all right. I'm going to bonus action elemental gift, make my legs go all misty, and I'll fly in here. See what I see. Oh, I see. And I'm realizing that I'm getting used to the weight of this thing.
Okay.
Realizing I can move a lot quicker than I have been. And I'm going to carry this down the hallway.
Okay.
I got like another 30 feet.
Where are you going?
Oh, where are you going?
We can't see him on the map. I have no
We have no clue
Where are you
where
going?
you're
There's
going.
there's a hallway there?
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a hallway there. No,
You just-
no. I was going the other way.
When does Burt Reynolds go?
Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going with that spear? I'm coming up with it.
Oh, you're coming up with it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming north with it.
Sorry.
Oh.
All right.
Is that a hole in the floor that I see now that I'm in here?
No, there's not a hole in the floor. All right, so you're just marching him back up here.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thornton is running over here. I missed his turn. So Thornton's running over to help Mari. Now we're at the top of the round. We're at Anne.
I will use this new sword.
Okay.
Push the button.
I'm going to push the button.
Okay.
I'm going to get a coalesce sword.
Okay.
And
Go
because
stabby
he's
stab.
flanked,
You will be attacking with advantage because
I
you
will.
are flanking with
flanked.
Topes. Topes
with
is helping.
Topes. Here we go. And sneak attack, yes?
Yes. All the dice. Holy explosion of dice. All right, so you roll a 15 plus 6 is going to be a 21. That's a lot of damage.
So we have an 8 for radiant one-handed damage. Then I have an 11
Okay.
plus 6.
Is the 11 if it's two-handed? Wait, what's
I'm
that
trying to
say?
figure that out.
All right, so it would just be the 8, and then it'll be another for your sneak attack damage, which is the
Plus-
last.
Is that the 15?
The last one's 15. Yeah. So
Okay,
8 and 15 is 23. All right. What does it look like as you cut through this thing?
I just want to like cut through it like butter. Just
All
like
right.
two
Just like butter. All right.
pieces.
So you go, you slice the blade with. There is no restraint between you making your arc. Like you don't. There's nothing stopping it from it just cutting right through all of the tentacles. You just slice through, like 3 of the tentacles just bleed off of it and just kind of melt onto the ground. As you kind of pull this blade back, you kind of look at the blade astounded at how easy it was to dispatch this thing as it drops to the ground. As soon as that happens, something happens. The entire ship rumbles. The structure rumbles as everybody begins to levitate off of the floor. And the rock that you were looking at is gone. It is not rock. It is this shale that you can see through. And what you see around you is space.
What?
You said ship.
I did say ship.
And Elon Musk is the villain. Gee.
Because this is what you see around you. As the entire ship, you can see through it. But there's a problem. You still have this thing on the ship.
Well, we're not done.
There must be some sort of bay doors. We can throw him through.
Right?
Says the wormling who
All
can't
right. So everyone is now floating in the air. There is no force holding you to the ground anymore. Everyone is floating, and you are all bewildered as you're looking around. But still floating is this bead of force that this monster is still in. Now Lorex, everyone else is lost. Has lost the ability to stand on the floor. You're still hovering because you have the power of the genie as you're able to fly with this thing. But you look into this room and you see squid pieces floating around the room. You see an unconscious halfling floating through the room. You see a bear like floating, like going upside down, like spinning out of the control. As we have lost whatever power holds you to the ground is gone. So
you guys see anywhere I can put this thing?
No, but you are still looking around because you can see through the shale, the stone. You can actually see through it, and you're seeing stars, and you're seeing celestial bodies, and you look down and you see like y'all are over some
We
giant.
don't have like a doorway or anything.
Not
like,
that you can
in
tell.
that room.
Not that you can tell.
All right, I'm going to take him back down the other way then.
Okay.
Grab onto the walls.
Show him the entire ship.
What?
And here we have this room. I don't know what we're going to call it yet.
Okay. So you bring it down here. As you leave and you're kind of investigating the room. Let's do this.
Are we out of combat?
No, we're still in combat. We're still counting down because that thing's going to get out.
I don't see the tracker anymore.
Hang on a second. I'm working on.
He's doing some things.
I'm doing some things.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So at this point, everyone has kind of seen the map itself and sees everything. I'm refreshing the map so we can see everything.
Okay. I've got an idea.
Okay.
We still have to go back to get Danny.
So that takes me end of
Vimak is also
end of the
floating
Yes.
about somewhere.
Yeah.
Druid.
So to get to there, that's like the end of the 6th round for me to get down there.
Okay.
That's
and
the end of my turn.
All right, so we need to hurry up. We've got 4 rounds. What does everyone want to do? We're kind of out of quasi-combat. So basically, if 4 rounds is 24 seconds. I want to know what everyone wants to do in 24 seconds.
I want to figure out what this is before anything else. I want to figure out what's going on in that room.
All right, so you can push it down. So we're going to do... So this is going to be 4 rounds of actions. Okay, I want to kind of speed through this. Lorex, you come down here. You push him about. You see 2 other of these strange-looking chests in these side compartment rooms. And you get in the very back, and there's nothing else happening back here other than what you're seeing. You're kind of just looking around and seeing all of the space around you as you can see through whatever rock or shale, whatever this is.
Okay, I'll loot the chests while I'm in there, and then run.
You go up to the first one. They are locked.
Can I take a swing with my sword?
You absolutely can.
Yeah. I'll give a swing for each of them. How about that?
All right, so you take a swing. The first one you can't seem to open. The second one you can. So this one you are not able to open. This one over here you are able to. And you pull out some strange purple crystal and a robe that looks very odd.
All right.
Like you picking up the robe, it has like stars and constellations and stuff on it.
All right. Purple crystals and a weird robe. And I'm going to run. I'm gonna run real far away.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be your 20. So how far up do you want to get all the way back up here?
Sorry. Yeah, if I can.
All right. So that's going to be your 4 rounds. All right. So that's what you're doing in your 4 rounds. What is Anne doing?
I was gonna go join Lorex, but if he's coming here, I'd be getting into a tactical position. Like I'm ready to fight this thing.
All right. So you're floating in the air. So what do you want to do?
I would like to try and get to a wall and
All right.
get myself into a
which
position that if I
wall
can
do you want to
shoot-
try to swim to?
Well, the closest one
Okay.
to the side, and then if I can get myself around to like here, maybe.
Okay. All right. You're able to.
Maybe
You
the
get to the
help of
wall.
Soot.
You push against the wall, and you're able to get to here. Yeah. Okay.
So it can kind of help me fly
Soot
a little
can
bit.
actually help you fly a little bit. Yes. Okay. All right. So that is it. So and now what do you have in your hands? Because this thing's about to drop in the back.
Then I would pull out my bow. If like I would pull out my bow, my short bow. If I
Okay.
can.
All right. You
to
pull
be able
out
to
your
get down the
bow,
hall.
and with that, okay, that's what you're gonna do. All right. Topes, what are you gonna do?
Spent 4 rounds of rolling ones.
You're recharged. You're recharged.
Hopes grabs Mari by her tunic or whatever
Okay.
she's wearing, and
I'm
like
headed
flies her over to the first person he sees, which would probably be Cordan.
Okay.
And just says like fish, fish, fish.
Maybe not quite yet.
Cordan, it is now your turn.
What is her outlook?
She's alive, unconscious.
All right. Medicine check to see if I can stabilize her. I want to save a spell slot if at all possible, but if I have to, I will heal her because it seems like I heal her in every single mission so far.
All right, so roll your medicine check.
She's a berserker.
You're not going to be able to heal her. The part of the problem too is you're floating around.
All right. We're going to cast Healing Word.
First level healing word will stabilize her and get her conscious. That's a 5. Okay.
And I'm going to tell her one day you'll be grateful for this.
What? Where? Did we win? Did we win? And as she's floating around, she's asking, "Did we win?"
Gosh.
I also want to, like, if I've got enough time, I want to thorn whip my way around,
Okay.
pulling myself.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
Is there anything in this room? Like, I'm looking for some kind of navigation.
You get inside this room and you look around, and what you see is you see whatever it is in that hall down there. It seemed like it came from here. Like it looks like some type of holding area.
Oh.
Holding area.
Can I do some type of check to see if I can figure out how to activate it again?
Yeah, sure. Roll Arcana check.
Arcana? Okay.
No. Hard no. You don't see a single button control anything in this room at all. You just see shale. And with that, I believe we've all taken our 4 rounds. Is there anything else? Are we good? Because
Well,
this
I would
bubble's
just want to
dropping.
move back up this way.
All right, get to where you want to be, because this thing's coming back out. All right.
Does Thornton need to be in position as well?
Yes, Thornton will swim his way to here. But he's just kind of like clawing. He basically grabs onto the ceiling and is just kind of pulling himself with these bear claws across the ceiling, trying to get over there, roaring and kind of confused. Mari is doing the same. She's kind of in the corner. She's just kind of hanging on for dear life, still barely awake and conscious, and just kind of her head is kind of swimming. Her wounds are closed. She's not bleeding anymore, but she is very badly hurt. And with that, this thing's going to come back up. You see the flame hit as it's moving up. We're going to go right back into the initiative round, and you're first as it has moved up to here.
Can I short bow and can I steady aim for an advantage on it? Or with the moving?
If you can give me an acrobatics check, I will
can do
allow
that.
you to get steady aim.
It's here we go.
It's not going to be able to reach us next turn, is it?
No, you can't. You float
Acrobatics
off
is
this
5.
way. You go to like grab your bow and you kind of like move out of the way. You can still
let's help.
Yeah, you can still take the shot, but you will not have advantage.
Okay, I'll still take the shot.
Okay. Uh, 18 will hit. It's not a sneak attack, so take 8 points of
8.
damage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You let loose the arrow. The arrow sings through the flame. It hits it. You can hear it growl as the arrow does make contact. With that, it is Taupe's turn.
All right. Let's see if I can get this back.
You already recharged.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to just kind of just wait. There's no way I'm just flying in there after that.
All right, so you're going to move over there and hold your action. Okay?
Yeah.
Its turn. It's going to get to there. And it's going to let loose a fire breath. I'll get here.
Is that an attack roll or is it just a save?
It is a save. It's just an attack. Yeah, it's not there's no roll for him. So, Lorex and Cordan make a dexterity saving throw from the fire breath.
Oh boy. I loved the last time I had a fire breath.
Lorex passes. So does Cordan. So you will only take half of this.
Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
It rolled it
Gonna
twice.
roll like 20 million dice.
26 is the roll, so take 13. Both of you take 13 fire damage. So it lets loose this fire. The fire dances oddly as it kind of curls through the chamber. Both of you kind of move out of the way as you're kind of floating, and the fire does hit you, but you're not singed as bad as you could have been. And with that, he will then take a legendary action and take his tail and try to stab at Lorex.
He will be woed.
I am woed. So it would have been a 26, but instead it's a 21.
I just can't believe this thing's in melee range already. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. It has 80-foot speed.
Oh my gosh.
Ah.
Okay, so it is going to hit. I rolled a claw, but it should have been. It's the same damage. All right. So take 13 points of slashing damage and 4 points of fire damage.
All right.
And
I'll
make
roll my concentration.
Oh.
Hold on, let me roll concentration.
What spell did you have up?
Drop
Hex. The floaty one.
Oh,
Hex.
you've had him hex this whole time. Very good. So you drop hex. Now make a strength saving throw. As you've been impaled by the tail. Oh no, he got you. He's going to pull you into the fire.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Take 9.
All right.
Is Lorex still breathing?
Yeah, he's still breathing. Just.
All right, so fire breath, legendary action, tail grabs you, pulls you back into the fire, and with that, we go to Cordan.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is shift into Archer
Okay.
because I'm going to need it, and we're going to guiding bolt it.
All right,
And
so
I-
you turn into the archer as you take the constellation, the archer. Lights
kinda
begin to
blend
illuminate
in.
off of you. Yeah, you kind of blend in with everything that you're seeing around you, and you let loose your guiding bolt.
Okay.
Take your shot. 19 plus 6 is 25. That will hit. Deal 4d6 radiant damage
Beautiful.
to the monster.
Oh, I don't know why that rolled so much.
15 points of damage, radiant, and the next person who attacks it has advantage. Okay? And with that, bonus action. Take your shot.
Oh yeah, it's the same attack roll.
So this is the meteor shot that comes up 12. That'll miss. Alright, and with that is Cordan. Do you want to try to move?
I do. I want to kind of get over here by the doorway like this.
Awesome. Acrobatics check. No, you don't.
Oh, that was
You go that way.
Good.
All right. So you go to try to go one way, but the blast of the you don't realize how much kick that guiding bolt has. You end up like the propulsion like shoots you backwards as you float backwards across the wall.
Can I bonus action say wee?
Mari on her, she's gonna reach out and catch you and kind of pull you closer. But she is gonna sit back. She is hurting. Thornton, on the other hand, is going to still in bear. No, he's not. He goes to go this way and he shoots all the way across. And with that, it is Lorex's turn.
All right, I'm gonna bonus action to cast Spirit Shroud.
Yes, you are.
So I can hopefully do some damage to this thing. And then I don't have a choice. I'm still impaled on this thing's tail, right?
No, you're not.
He just pulled me in.
He just pulled you in. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still a little worried about it. I gotta go into my lantern. I'm gonna use bottled respite.
Ooh. All right. So you like pull your sword in and you just coalesce into like this water that floats into the lantern that Anne has. So you return back into the lantern. Very good.
Correct.
All right. And now we go back to Anne's turn. So we'll put Lorex over here.
Cordan, what was the spell that you gave me? Lightning bolt. Can I lightning bolt the creature, please?
Yes, you can. I need an arcane check though. Arcana check.
Also,
yes,
he has to make a save, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. First, let's make sure she can read the scroll.
Okay.
It's pretty low. You're fine. You pull out that scroll. You manage to cast lightning. You're going to shoot the lightning bolt at the monster. Before you roll damage, let me go ahead and get my save out of the way. Cordan's going to woe me. This is so -6 on this save. This is using his Circle of Stars ability, and I believe it's a dex save for me. So it's this -6, so 15. So it's a 9. So had I not been woed, I would have passed. Instead, I'm taking 8d6 lightning damage.
Yeah, you are, baby.
So,
8.
and roll your 8d6 lightning damage.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Woo! I see some sixes.
Plus my spell attack
Wow.
modifier, right?
I don't know about that. Yes.
Okay.
Sure, we'll give it to you. Was it 30 even?
That is, 30 even.
30 even. All right, so you take the blast. You do see it hit him. It doesn't seem to hurt him as much as you thought it would, but it does hurt him.
Mm. And does the blast push me anywhere? Or do I stay here?
It depends. Are you going to try to move? It's a gamble.
It is a gamble.
Basically, are you basically going to cast the scroll and use your turn to stay? Or are you going to cast the spell and then move? Because then you're not
I'm
like
gonna
flanched.
stay. stay
Stick?
here.
You're gonna stick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna stick
I'm gonna
right where you're at. Topes.
All right, let's move 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
I'm going to do breath.
All
So
right. I gotta make
DC. I
what's
believe it's 12. Yeah, 12 con.
11. I failed it again. That's twice. So
Nice.
give me another 4d6 damage off of the dehydration.
Nice.
18
18.
damage. Hang on. Roll your d6.
See how much strength.
See how much strength I lose. Only 2. Okay. It's lost
So he's down
4.
-4.
It's lost 4 strength. Okay.
Okay, so, and then I'm going to finish my move by going back.
Okay. All right. So you're basically fluttering around with your little wings. You go by. You do your drive-by attack with the light, with the dehydration breath as the waves ripple out. It cuts through the fiery aura and hits him, and you can hear it like scream as whatever water or liquid that's inside of him is beginning to dehydrate, and then you pull back out of the way. With that, its turn. First, let me see if I recharge my attack. I do not. So he's going to move forward to here. And
Is he moving on the floor or is he floating?
He's basically using his arms and his legs to kind of move across the walls and kind of like, but he's got wings as well that's also anchoring him.
Another question, is his fire reaching to the ceiling, to the floor, or is it like...
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So he is going to run into the room. He immediately sees, What does he want? We're going to claw at Anne.
Okay.
12. Does a 12 hit you?
It does not.
You dodge out of the way. It's going to grab its tail and shoot it across and go for Cordan in the back.
Jesus.
25.
Good lord.
Yeah. All right, so take 12 points of slashing, 1 point of fire damage, and then give me a DC 20 strength saving throw.
What? Whoa. I thought his strength was getting lower.
No, actually, that's an interesting question. If his strength goes down, we'll give it a DC 16.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
And he made it. So very good. You are not impaled.
At a
Booyah.
-1.
Ooh.
You are. That's
Man.
a good. It's an interesting thing because he's lost strength, but his ability is not. It should be baked to strength, but in the mechanics, it's not. So I'm going to rule that because he's been weakened by it, he hits you with the tail, but you're able to kind of muster every piece of strength that you have to not get pulled in by that thing. But you do take 12 points of slashing and 1 point of fire damage from the tail itself. And with that, we go to Cordan's turn.
All right. How close is that guy to me? Would you say he's 15?
Yes, he is 15 feet.
I am going to pull out a scroll and cast Spirit Guardians.
Ooh!
There we go.
I like this. All right. So you cast Spirit Guardians. Now, this is a divine spell, which is totally fine. That's not what you normally cast. Even though it's a cleric spell, I'm just going to say you can cast it because you're still dealing with the gods. But you pull out the Spirit Guardians. You cast it as this aura of guardians goes about you. But what this actually does is it pulls all of these nature guardians around you because it's pulling your guardians. So you see all of these nature spirits and pixies and fairies and all these things start swimming around and engulfing this spectral pixies and fey creatures are dancing around and basically charging after the monster. Now, if I remember correctly on that, I
think
rolled.
it has to start its turn.
So right at the beginning of my turn, I have to make the save to take the 3d8.
I'm also designating everybody but it are unaffected.
Correct. Okay, so that's what you do on your turn. So here's an interesting thing. If you cast a spell, you still can use, because it did
My
count as a
bonus
spell, your bonus action to use your Circle of Stars ability. So go ahead and take the other shot with the D8. See if you hit with that.
If I make it to my next round, you're going to see the combo.
Spell attack is 15. It will miss. All right, so that misses, and now we get to...
Speed is halved as well.
Speed is halved. Mari's going to do nothing. Thornton's going to try to go in. Let me first make my acrobatic check to see if I can move up there. I can! He shoves himself off the wall. He's coming at him, just nothing but teeth and claws. And he will take 2d6 fire damage, but he's just trying to get in there. He takes 5 points of that. He attacks it with its... It's actually flanking it because of Anne, so I get to roll that one again. Missed. And then this will be for the bite. So the bite does land. He does 2d. He does manage to push through the fire and do a massive 7 points of damage.
Mustache singeing.
The mustache has been singed, everybody, as Thornton has pushed through and made his attack. And now we go to Lorex, who is taking a respite inside his cozy lantern.
I forgot to mention when the first one was attacking, I don't think anyone used that guiding bolt advantage. But I'm going to bonus action out of my lantern.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack this guy with my sword twice.
Yes, you
So
are.
that's how I roll.
With advantage,
right?
It is advantage, yes.
Numero uno.
Yeah.
We'll take the 15.
22.
22
Okay,
will hit.
excellent.
22 will hit.
All right, let me... Sorry, double checking my damage again. Wow. 2d6 plus... Sorry. 2d6 plus an extra d8 of cold. Plus 4, and then plus 3 cold. So
What's
it's
the total?
19.
19. Okay.
And then on my second swing, I'll take a -5.
Ooh.
My Great Weapon Mastery.
And
I would have
hardness.
missed anyway.
And you missed anyway. Doesn't matter. You hit it, and you're going to... And you try to swing as hard as you possibly could, and you miss with that attack.
And then you just spin.
And you just spin out of the way. As the spinning dwarf of death goes around. Top of the round, it is Anne's.
I assume it's a bonus action to chug a beer.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, my turn is over.
Also, when you got into range, you take fire damage. Take 3 points of fire damage.
Oh, excellent.
And it is your turn. You're in the realm of its flames as well. And you'll take 6 points of fire damage.
Oh, great. Okay. Let's. Ooh, okay. How hurt is he looking?
Hard to tell with all the fire, but he looks pretty hurt.
Let's use this fun, fancy new sword.
Okay.
And he's flanked,
Yes.
so that's with advantage.
Yes.
And it counts as sneak.
It
attack.
does.
So I click the button. So let's see all of my
The
millions of
explosions
dice.
of dice. These.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we have 9 radiant damage.
Correct. And then 12 points of sneak attack, which is 21 points of damage.
Yes, I don't know what the second radiant damage is.
It is if you are attacking undead.
Okay, yeah, that's the undead one. Okay, perfect. So 21 damage.
Hey, Anne, what does it look like?
Nice.
What is it
Yes.
as you drive the lightsaber through Dryly, or Ridley, as it were? What does it look like? You push through the flames, singeing yourself. I hand the
Part of me
narration.
just wants
to you.
them to like explode into dust, but I don't know if we need him. I would. She would want the explosion. Just
Okay.
like sand, dust, bones everywhere.
All right. So you thrust the sunblade into its chest. You rip it out. As it does, all of the flame that was around it dissipates, but the flame from within kind of like starts like coalescing around of its body itself. Because what you didn't realize is there was flame inside of him in itself. His body like shrieks out, and his lifeless body falls to the ground. As he hits the ground, he's still like smoldering, and as his claws let go of the ground, he begins to float away.
Love it.
I'm glad that happened because I would have been dead from the aura of flame next turn.
I wasted
Yeah,
Spirit Guardians.
I am really hurting.
All right.
I know.
With that, so
You did waste Spirit Guardian.
you finish this combat, and as the body kind of starts drifting away, everyone stops in the moment and looks about and realizes the scene has completely changed. So let's go back and take a look at everything that just happened. As you're looking about and you're seeing this allness of space. And now, Cordan, you look around and you have seen drawings of things like this. The bright stars that you see in the distance, you know as other realms. This astral sea, this realm space that you're now looking at. This is something that you never thought you would actually get to see. You've only seen this through the lens of your telescopes, but now you are looking out at the vastness of space. You quickly look around and you don't see any constellations or star clusters that you recognize at all.
Oh boy.
Getting some feedback there. Alright, and with that, what is everybody doing?
I would want to go find Vimak. Seeing that I'd probably yell at Thornton, being like, "Where's Vimak?"
And Thornton turns back into human form. He's like, "Oh, I forgot!" And he starts like trying to crawl back to find him. You hear a voice go, "He's okay, I found him!" He's still floating off in the distance. He finds Vimak's body. With that, the only person still kind of moving about, I guess, is Lorex, who's able to fly about.
I'm gonna chug an ale.
Okay, you chug an
for-
ale, and your amulet of the drunkard, or whatever it is, actually turns that brew into healing sauce. It just feels warm going down as it just heals your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got time, I want to take a quick look around that room. I'm going to go to the other chest
Can I?
and crack that thing open.
Okay.
Do you need help?
I'll drag Anne with me. I'll grab her by the belt.
As
Fly
you
with
go and you grab Anne, the entire ship shifts as you look about, and what you see is that your view of what you're looking at is tilting this way as you're kind of spinning out of control. What you didn't realize is it feels like something broke off the ship, and as you're kind of rolling about, you look, and now your axis has changed, and you're actually seeing what's behind you. And what's behind you, you went from seeing the serene vision of this astral sea to seeing this other vision of just pure horror as you see this.
Nope.
This, it
Is that
feels
planet
like
size?
it's definitely a celestial body, and it feels like you broke off of it or were part of that as you are pulling back away from it. And you were getting a pretty good distance away from it. But this is what you were, that first shuddering you put together was you breaking apart from this image, this huge celestial body, as you're basically pulling away from it. Cordan, as you're looking about, one thing that strikes you immediately as you see this is the hue that is behind this celestial body.
You mean in front of it?
Oh yeah.
It's the comet.
Yeah.
This is the Yoskayan comet that you've been looking at.
No, nice.
Okay, I would take mental images. Not that I could forget that.
Oh, that's creepy.
So we're drifting away from this?
Yes.
About how far are we from it? Just kidding. I can't teleport that far.
More than 60 feet.
Well, I can thunder step a ways.
This is quite a distance.
Oh,
The first thing I would want to do is to try to figure out if there's anything in this ship or whatever we're in that can control it.
Okay, you're immediately looking about. You haven't seen any. The only structures that you remember seeing outside of the chest, that pod that some guy was in, and the boiling cauldron of whatever in the back. That's the only thing that you've seen that looks like anything that's controllable. There's no desk or controls or panels. You don't see anything like that at all as you continue to move about. What is Anne doing?
I'd be going with Lorex for that chest.
All right, you see all of that. You're trying to get to the chest. As you look, and the ship is continuing to spin. What you see above you now, as you're kind of tilting out, is the horizon. Is that you're plummeting here? Y'all are basically caught and are falling into whatever this is.
Has anyone figured out where we need to be to drive this thing?
I don't think we can drive this thing.
Cordan said he couldn't find anything when he was looking around. We apparently haven't seen anything.
I have to ask.
So I'm looking to see if there's something in the chest.
But what is Topes doing?
Topes went to go find Vimak as well.
Okay, so Topes is flying to find Vimak. All right, I was curious what the wormling was doing in all of this. So everyone, so Anne, you're going back looking for those chests. Cordan, everyone's looking for controls as this ship continues to kind of spin, and the darkness of space, of this realm space, this astral sea, it melts away, and all of you see now is the light of returning into whatever this realm is below us, as the ship begins to shake and shimmy, as everyone's getting tossed around.
Except for Lorex.
Except for Lorex.
Lorex was holding me.
I'm holding on to Anne. So
that's right. You're holding on to Anne. All right. So this thing is plummeting fast. Lorex, you're holding on to Anne. You're flying. What is Cordan doing? Sorry, Topes is flying. What is Cordan doing?
Do we have any beads of force left? I'm yelling.
I've got nothing. That was my last one.
Can we get in the bag of holding for when we crash?
So you know how you have 10 minutes of oxygen for one person?
Yeah.
You got like 1 minute with all of us.
So that's not going to work.
How
Let's
many?
see what's in this chest.
How many bags of holding do we have?
2.
Oh.
Ooh.
I have 1.
It'd be hard to climb into that pocket.
It's a bag of holding. It can stretch. We'll fit in.
There you go.
All right. For the sake of argument, I'm going to say that there's 6 people here, and a half with that. If you time it perfectly as you're coming through, everyone can retreat into a bag of holding for the crash. So everyone quickly runs around, grabs into the bags as this thing plummets and crashes into the ground below. Everyone inside the bag, you run in this small little space where you're actually looking around, and you feel like you're tiny little figures in this bag. And now the ones that went into Vimak's bag, you run in and see what looks to be like the decomposing body of a goblin in the corner with all this other kind of random crud that he's collected over the time. The structure that you're in crashes, and as soon as it crashes, everything stops, and everything you hear is it's breaking and this moving of everything. Everyone's able to then look out and step outside of the bag. Each time you reach out, you go from small to large almost instantaneously as you leave this extra dimensional space. Cold enters in as you look about. Cordan, you're unaffected by this. You're used to the depths of the ocean, and that's just what you're used to. So you're immune to this. But as you step out, you look and you see like a frozen tundra outside of the crash structure.
I'm immune to this? Or
I'm sorry, not Cordan. Lorex. Lorex is immune to this.
Like I'm immune to, or I've got resistance to cold. What
Right.
are you
Lorex says,
talking about?
I was looking at Lorex and I said Cordan. All right. So Lorex, you're immune to the cold as you step out and you look and you see this frozen tundra. In the distance, you see two strange pillars, kind of broken and sitting off to the side. And this is what you see.
We're definitely not in Kansas anymore.
Oh boy.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
we need to find a where to camp until somebody can read those runes.
Ruins?
All right. So with that, for the sake of time and brevity, I'm going to say everyone rest. You get your rest. Cordan, I know you're wanting to get comprehend languages. Is that right? Is that what you want to do? Cordan?
So are we? What do we use like the remains of this thing that crashed to like build shelter to?
You can
take,
actually
like,
you can shelter in here. But what is interesting, you're sheltering inside the crash of this, is that as cold as it is outside, it stays warm inside. What you find is that the body of Dryly is still hot.
Opposite of a hot pocket.
Is still hot. So as long as you're inside of this, it's warm. You step out, it's freezing cold.
Well, it looks like we're sheltering here for a while.
Yep. We definitely should look at Vimak and see if there's anything we can do.
So the next day after resting, Vimak, while still incapacitated, has regained an ounce of intelligence, enough to eat and drink.
Okay.
But it's going to take him a while to recover. But see, the rules say it takes a week to get your stats back. Well, I would say you get a little bit of that every day instead of just all of a sudden getting it at once. So I'm going to say his intelligence at this point is 2.
Okay.
He's not quite as smart as a squirrel.
Correct. He can eat.
I would use mold earth to kind of build us a cave.
Okay. All right. So you're using mold earth to kind of build like the walls and things to kind of get some type of shelter. Vimak, not Vimak. I'm sorry. Topes. I'm sorry. You're just trying to find food and shelter. Lorex, what is it you're doing?
I mean, just taking shelter in this where it's warm until everyone's ready to head out towards these structures, these 2 towers.
It's not that far if you want to go and investigate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go take a look.
Okay. You go because you're immune to the cold. Not immune, but you're really resistant. It doesn't bother you.
So this is after the rest, though. This is like
this is after this is after the rest.
Okay. This is the next morning.
The next morning, you go out.
Is there like a day-night cycle here? Or?
Yes, there is a day-night cycle.
Okay.
You do see.
So I'll head to the. Or go ahead.
Pretty close to what we're used to.
Right. You see on these pillars. It is a form of common language. It is not exactly like yours, but you're enough to reek out the lettering. This is some type of way marker for something called the Barrier Peaks.
Barrier Peaks.
Correct.
Oh, apparently, Topes. Do you know what this is? See the little dragon going like this.
Wet.
Oh. You don't have to keep calling me names.
Now, you come back and give this information. Now, Cordan and Anne, you've both done a lot of studying about Faerun. The Barrier Peaks is not something you've ever heard of named in Faerun. You do not believe this is, unless it's in a faraway continent, which is possible, you've never heard anything told of something called the Barrier Peaks.
I would need a long rest to prep for this.
Okay. And with that...
Dwarf complains that Cordan is taking another long rest. All you do is lay around and sleep all day.
In that, we will rest, and we'll pick up next week for episode 15. So, a lot has changed.
Yep.
So, the collective are much more than just a Waterdeep problem.
You're a Star Wars problem.
It's a Star Wars problem. Or a Spelljammer problem.
Apparently, we've crash landed in Texas last week.
This is Texas last week. Okay. With that, I thank you all for watching and following us. We took a big, gigantic left turn tonight, but it will make sense. I wrote this months ago. It will make sense. Just stick with us as we pick up next week for episode 15. And until then, keep rolling with advantage. Thanks, everybody.